Hello, and welcome to the show. As you know by the title of the video you just clicked on, this is the MBN. I hope we had a cool echo there. This is a show we wanted to do essentially just to try and make your day a little better through some light comedy. So let's get right into it. In today's show, we will be covering what to expect in future episodes of this show, because we plan to continue this for quite a while. Taunton is going to tell a fascinating story from his childhood. And we'll end with a quote of the day from Not Wamsa. Is in no relation to Wamsa. So what should you, as the viewer, expect from this show? Well, I don't really know. Every episode is probably going to be different from the last, so we're going to let you tell us. You can comment below. What should we do from the show? But essentially, the outline of each episode is going to be, 4 or 5 segments of us just cracking jokes and making fun of the world we live in, which is essentially everything we do already. So to sum it up, we're just being ourselves, but we're not losing at Bed Wars. Well, we are. And in breaking news, we at the MBN can personally confirm that President Lincoln is in fact dead. He was killed, we think, in a theater that was either Ford's Theater or Chevy Theater, but that is still not known. We don't know the reason of his death, but we think it's linked to a game of cards in which he lost. So I don't know why they wanted to kill him for that. We do not know his killer, but we think it's a man called John Wilkes Booth. He owns a boot shop down on 4th Street. That's all we know, and we will update you as the story develops. But now, over to Taunton.
Okay, in a recent poll taken by the worldwide media, it shows that Minecraft players do indeed know more about grass than Fortnite players. This has been a long discussed topic. It has caused political uproars in the polling system, but today we can 100% confirm Minecraft players do indeed know more about grass.
Well, thank you, Taunton. That was very enlightening. And now we're going to go back to Taunton with a special story of his.
So, it was a cloudy day over in my 4th grade school. I was out on the basketball courts, walking on stilts, because I thought it was really impressive that I could take 75 steps with stilts. That was a huge flex back in the day. And then, this girl runs up to me, and she looks at me, then she runs away. I'm in 4th grade. I don't care. I'm like, oh, that was weird. Well, back to taking steps on stilts. So then her sister comes up to me, and then she runs away. And I'm like, okay, this is getting very weird. And then my sister comes up to me. And she's like, oh yeah, she's been trying to tell you that she likes you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's cool. I was in 4th grade. I still didn't care. I was like, that's cool, but I want to take more steps on stilts. So then she basically decides we're boyfriend and girlfriend. We hang out for around 2 weeks. And then I'm like, this is weird. We're in 4th grade. So I start ignoring her. And after I ignore her for about 2 whole years. 2 years, I don't talk to her except for the casual conversation about unrelated subjects. And then when I was in 6th grade, she wrote me this, it was Valentine's Day, and that was when it was required that you give a Valentine's to every single classmate. Because, you're younger, you need to get Valentine's for self-confidence, apparently. But, so she puts this huge Valentine in the bag for me. It was cut in a heart, and I open it, and I'm like, okay. And I closed it again and I put it in my drawer after I got home. And I left it. I left it there for, I think, another 2 years. She moves away. It's still sitting in my drawer. She asked me before she moved away if I got her Valentine's. And I go, oh yeah, I got it. And I walk away. I didn't tell her I didn't read it. And then after she moves away, I open it and I'm like, wow. It was snippets of her journal of like when we first met and like what we did together, our journey. That was like, oh, that's weird. And it has like the last page how I told her how we should just be friends and how destroyed she was. But she was like, someday maybe it'll turn around, but for now, we're just friends. And I was like, wow. So I closed the Valentine's, I put it back in my drawer, I lean against my wall, and I'm like, okay. She moved away. It's over.
Okay, don't mind me if I just take the segment here, but I had a very similar heartbreaking story. This isn't in the script, but this is kind of what this show's gonna be, us just talking. Anyway, I had a very similar story. I was in second grade. I was in kindergarten. Second grade comes in later. I was in kindergarten, young and carefree. More or less, the cares came during kindergarten. It was once again Valentine's Day. I had this massive crush on this one girl. I'm sure everyone could understand if they saw her. I don't even remember what her name was now, which is kind of funny. um, she gave out these Valentines, and everybody got one. Like, everyone in the class got one, except for me. And me being in kindergarten and thinking big thoughts, and that she, like I, was madly in love. She wasn't. Was spending time creating a very special Valentine for me. Well, 2 years went by, and I still thought that. Um, and then she moved to Florida, and I stopped thinking that she was making me a Valentine. But I never got one, and I really wanted one because those Valentines had marshmallows in them and the pretzels, and you were supposed to make a little snowman thing with them. That's why I'm this way today. I never had one of those.
Wow, that's deep.
And now we will have a quote from Not Wamsa. He is not related to Wamsa, just making that clear. You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You only need a parachute to go skydiving twice. Well, we hope you enjoyed the first episode of MBN. In truth, we don't really know what we're going to do or where the show might or might not go, but we hope you stick with us for the ride and make sure to join us next week. Goodbye.